Being away from your family and home country is really tough. It takes a lot of courage, patience, sacrifice, and faith in our Lord. I want to share my journey and experience as an international student here in Melbourne. I came here in May 2017 and I've been here for more than 2 years now. I was very excited at that time and thought everything would go well, as me and my family had planned for this. Also, I'm a bit anxious because I still don't know what will happen to me. It was my first time to go out of my country and live by my own. Will I find a job, pay my bills, and survive my living? I was enrolled in Institute of Tertiary and Higher Education Australia, or ITHEA, to study Certificate 3 and 4 in aged care. And since I was just a student at that time, I really find it difficult to look for a job that suits my experience back home, since it's different here. That is why I just applied as a fundraiser for 2 weeks, and then after that I was lucky enough to find a job in a cafe and restaurant as dishwasher. I'm also blessed because all my bosses welcomed me to work in their place, even I don't have an experience in this kind of field. Well, in fact, I used to work in the hospital back home as a nurse, but not in hospitality field. I never felt that I was discriminated. I even had a part-time job as a dog walker, and I'm walking the dog for like 1 hour 3 times a week. And yeah, I can say studying while working was not that easy, but if you're motivated and determined, you can do it. I remember some of my experience when I was working in the cafe. I need to be there at 6:30 in the morning, and I still have a class at 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. And good thing my boss is really considerate, and he let me work from 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning, and then go to school and be back after school to do the closing. I worked there for like 6 months, I guess. And then after working in a cafe, I found another opportunity in the restaurant. I'm working there every weekend's dinner time. And I remember I was also doing my placement in Certificate 3 in aged care every Monday and Tuesday morning. So one time I experienced finishing late on Sunday night, and I wasn't able to catch the last train going home. So I just asked my boss if I can sleep in his restaurant, as I can't go home, and I still have placement the next day morning, which is not that far from our restaurant. It's just nearby. So since he really trusts me, he said it's fine, and he even set up a customized bed for me so I can sleep. And yeah, I remember those sleepless nights. Remember that night I was thinking about my family. I miss them so much. I'm just praying to God that time to give me strength and guide me. And if you're really determined and you have faith to our Lord, everything is possible. I was able to cope and finish my placement, and guess what? After my placement, they offered me a position to start my career. I'm happy that I was enrolled in ITHEA because they provide quality education and they really look after their students before placement. They make sure that all students are equipped with knowledge and skills. After that, I was hired and started my job as an aged carer. It was really a big help for me because I'm now working in the facility, and I earn more money to support my everyday expenses. And not only that, I was also able to save money for my university to take bridging program for nurses. And then I was able to get a slot in Deakin University around May 2019 for Iron program It was actually a 10 weeks course for nurses. So once they had finished it, they can apply for a registration and work here as a nurse. It was 5 days in a week class for 6 weeks and 4 weeks placement in hospital. So for me, it was really an intensive course since you have a short period of time to complete all the requirements, practicals, and exams. And I remember I was also working every weekend in aged care at that time. So I was like doing 7 days a week for 10 weeks. Now, I recently finished my iron program course in Deakin University and currently processing my registration in ITHEA. And I thank God because He gave me so much strength and wisdom at that time. And I guess all the hard work and sacrifices have finally paid off.